Hello, my name is Austin Belasco, and this is the Costco Financial Performance from 2022 to 2025 presentation for the Data 625 Unit 4 assignment. The class is led by Professor Wright for UMGC, and let's begin. Thank you for watching. Just as a note, I'm getting over a pretty bad cold, so if my voice gives out, I apologize. So Costco Wholesale, hereafter referred to as Costco, has a prevalence in many communities, and it's my subject for this assignment because it's my favorite company. There's many different reasons why I find Costco interesting, and I've listed a few here. I'm not going to go through all of it, and you can pause the video if you're interested in reading it. I have consumed a lot of media related to Costco over the year, but the primary reasons I think it's interesting is that it's very unique from a retail store perspective in that you can have a real career there as an employee, and that they have rather consistently been able to show that they have market dominance. So the question I was looking to answer is, how is Costco doing financially over the tough post-COVID-19 market environment? So factors I looked at: the primary, which was Costco's stock price, New York Stock Exchange symbol COST. The other two financial variables I chose to have something directly interacting with the stock price is their quarterly revenue and gross profit, as well as inflation over that same time period as an indirect financial variable. So this is the stock price of Costco from 2022 to 2025 as their fiscal quarters are set up, considered by the company. As you can see, there's a rather flat period in the beginning, after which it begins to somewhat take off. And here, when you include revenue side by side with the stock price, what's interesting is the revenue is extremely consistent with positive gains over that time period, which does not reflect the stock price at all, really. This is where I did my linear forecasting, and I was actually rather surprised. I thought I was going to have very low confidence in the stock forecasting because that is how the stock market goes, but the confidence interval is so wide. I do have, I would say, about medium confidence that the stock price will be somewhere in this range come the end of 2026, as well as that the revenue will be, I'd say, also about medium confidence somewhere in this range come the end of 2026. I say medium because it is still financial markets. Anything can happen. The financial state of the U.S. economy has been extremely tumultuous over the last 5 years or so. But I annotated, you can see that it's relatively flat stock price up to 2023 Q2, after which it begins to rise and actually has a 115% increase over a little bit over 2 years. So this is gross profit compared to cost of goods, which is in sum the revenue. So the total is revenue, but these make up the portions of revenue. So the gross profit is the profit after cost of goods sold. And you can see that there's actually consistent gains made by Costco. Gross profit represents a company's efficiencies in execution, and you can see that it continues to go up despite the cost of goods also continuing to go up. So they're continuing to make gains in that regard. This was the chart that I found most interesting. The stock price, while correlation is not necessarily causation, it seems to be very closely inverted to the stock price compared to inflation. So it's commonly said that market sentiment is subjective in how investors feel at the moment, as opposed to what is objectively the case at the time. And with the information from the previous slides, we know that Costco is actually performing quite well over this entire period, but the flatness of the stock price seems to be directly when inflation is quite high, and it's only when inflation starts to come back down to normal levels that the stock price starts to go back up. So finally, the market competitors that Costco has is Sam's Club and BJ's Wholesale. This is the 2024 annual revenue for each of them, and then treated as the wholesale market, as it were, and Costco makes up approximately 70% of that, so it is still very much dominating over the runner-up at almost 25%, which is Sam's Club, which is a subsidiary of Walmart, and then BJ's is not even at 10%, so Costco is still dominating the market. So in conclusion, the data I put together, I think, strongly indicates that Costco is actually doing quite well over the post-COVID-19 pandemic, despite the stock price not necessarily reflecting that. It's a good reminder that a company's stock does not necessarily represent how well a company is doing. Just because a stock is doing well doesn't mean that the company is. Just because a stock is doing poorly doesn't mean that the company is. So I found this very, very interesting and informative, and thank you for watching.